repeatedly stabs him till he's dead. Mm-hmm. So you're like, yep, any question of whether or not she was a psychopath? Answered. She is crazy and just killed him.
Yeah. And it also sets up she's got these incredible self-preservation instincts.
Yes.
She does not mess around. Like, slightest whiff that the neighbor is going to maybe even lobby for her dad to kill her. And she's over there taking care of business.
She's done. And she wore the creepy mask the whole time, which was excellent creep factor. Masks in general. And yeah.
I'll be honest, I was not aware that she wore the creepy mask because as soon as they showed a close-up of his Achilles tendon, I went under the blanket.
She knew. She was prepared. So, yep. Straight up stabbed him lots and lots. And then the mom comes home and the dad has to haphazardly explain to her, that he brought the cat back from the dead, and then now the daughter. And the mom is, visibly upset. Why wouldn't you be?
Yeah, why wouldn't you be?
The daughter
she's
tries
the only
to hug her,
character in the
and
movie
he's like creepily says, "Hug your daughter," and she kind of pats the kid, but is horrified and starts screaming at her husband, "This isn't right. This isn't okay. I'm getting out of here." And the dad says to the daughter, "Don't worry, mom just needs some convincing or something. I need some time." And the daughter creepily says, "I don't want her here anyway."
Yeah, she says, she doesn't want me here, but that's okay.
I don't want her
here either.
Yes. So you're just like, oh no, she's gonna go crazy. And sure enough, she grabs a butcher knife out of the kitchen. Again, easily in reach of the young demon child. Responsible decisions. She grabs a huge friggin' knife out of the kitchen and chases her mom down, like in The Shining, pushing through the bathroom door as the mom's trying to throw the baby out the second-story window to the dad, who found the dead neighbor and now realizes, crap, bringing my daughter back from the dead was the wrong decision.
Who would have guessed?
What are we going to do about this? So he grabs the baby, locks the baby in the car, says, "Don't open the door for anyone." Because 2-year-olds, listen, hold still, and are we just going to pretend it's okay to lock your baby in a car now? I don't know.
Well,
thoughts?
The scale of things.
I guess that's true.
Extenuating circumstances.
Locking your baby in a car versus leaving him with your demon child holding a knife.
Yeah.
Weigh it.
I do love that he told the toddler, "Don't open the door for anyone," because the couple of times I've seen toddlers locked in cars by accident, they are not interested in opening the doors for anyone because it's way too much fun to watch your parents screaming and pounding on the glass.
Exactly. So, anyway, that was funny to me too. And that the child could understand. Don't open the door for anyone. Oh, okay. I totally got you, Holmes.
Sure, I'll just chill in here and read my Dickens novel.
Yeah. And the kid really does just sit quietly in the car while mom and dad are running from knife-wielding daughter. Cool. So, daughter kills the mom and then buries the mom in the woods while dad is putting the baby in the car. So dad tries to chase them down to the woods to stop this from happening because the mom said, "Please don't bury me there."
Yeah.
And he is unsuccessful. So he gets to the pet cemetery and he starts fighting with his daughter and trying to strangle her because he realized he made a mistake.
Which, holy crap, the trauma and the baggage of watching a father try to strangle his not really his daughter anymore daughter.
Yes. Horrifying.
Yeah.
This poor man. So he's trying to strangle this kid and then gets stabbed through the chest by his now undead wife. Mm-hmm. And then they drag the dad off, bury him, and the movie ends with the undead family approaching the car with the baby inside and trying to get the kid to unlock the door.
Well, I think that the very last sound you hear in the movie is the sound of the door unlocking.
I think it was. I think it was the click of the unlock and then cut to credits.
Yeah.
So here's my beef with the movie. Ominous endings. Stephen King movies sort of becoming that way. Don't get me started on The Mist.
Oh my gosh.
And then, but so you don't really get a lot of closure, but you assume we're going to have a demon baby. Thank you for not showing me the death of the demon baby, by the way. That is great. So as far as the ending goes, I just felt a little underwhelmed. I get the whole idea. The whole movie was about the dad trying to keep the family together, do what's best for the family. So in the end, it was the family is all together as these undead beings. But then what?
I assume they go on a murderous rampage and tear through Maine until some intrepid person puts them down.
The military comes in and takes out the whole town.
Yeah.
Full of zombie undead people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, the ending was almost a little bit of a relief because I was so uncomfortable and sad by him strangling his daughter that I was dreading him succeeding.
Yeah.
I didn't want to see that happen. So I was actually kind of happy with that ending because they're together.
You know? Quite an interesting way of looking at it.
Now, I do know that that ending was different from the way that the original film version ended. And in the novel, the dad does end up killing both the cat and his undead son using morphine.
And then lights the house on fire, leaving it to burn as he carries Rachel's body from the fire. Pascal appears, warns Lewis not to make it worse, but Lewis, now grief-stricken to the point of insanity, believes that Rachel was not dead as long as Gage was. Burying her will work this time. Pascal cries out in frustration and vanishes as Lewis passes through him. That night, Rachel returns to Lewis and the couple embrace. Rachel takes a large knife from the counter as Lewis screams.
Dark.
So the first one ends with him burying his wife and thinking she wasn't dead very long, it's going to be fine. And it's not fine.
Yeah. It's never fine.
Yes. It's never a good idea to bury your dead loved ones in the woods behind your house and hope that they come back. And if they do come back,
Yeah. Well, and it kind of doesn't answer the question that Lewis and Rachel argue about earlier in the morning about whether or not there's an afterlife, because the bodies come back to life, but obviously the souls inhabiting those bodies are different than what they were in life.
Which, it was interesting that the daughter, as she comes back and she's dead, said to both the neighbor and the mom, there is an afterlife. And you're going to be there soon. And it's hell.
Yeah.
And, indicating that when they die, it's just this horrible, horrible place. And that's why she came back wrong.
Yeah. But whether she was telling the truth or whether she was just trying to...
This soulless shell of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to say.
It's not enough to kill them. I've got to scare them before I kill them, too. So, but yeah, overall, I thought... strong ending, in my opinion, anyway. I think that with the the version in the book where he kills him with morphine, at least that's a little bit more peaceful. But the
strangulation was horrible.
Too much.
Agreed.
But overall, really, really good. Good movie, I thought.
Really well done, especially as far as remakes go.
Yeah.
I was definitely impressed that they could stay true to the original story, but changed it, and not in a way that upset me, but in a way that I was like, oh.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool and interesting. What are they going to do with this? So, yeah.
Yeah. And even the scene with the Achilles tendon, they set it up. If you've seen the original one, you knew that the cut to the Achilles tendon was coming. They didn't do it right away. They
didn't.
Yeah.
In the original, the little boy is hiding under the bed, and he sits down, and the little boy cuts his Achilles tendon. And in this one, he comes upstairs, and you see, they zoom in on his ankles from under the bed. And so you're like, oh, here it comes. And then they don't do it. And you're like, oh.
So you relax just long enough.
Yes. So that is why I think it was fabulous that they remade it in a way and changed it just enough that for those of us who had seen that original, it was still like a fresh new movie, which was cool.
Yeah.
It definitely... I jumped when his Achilles tendon did actually get cut because it was he's coming down the stairs, and I had relaxed enough that I didn't see it coming anymore. So it definitely scared me.
Yeah. And I think it had been long enough since the other version that a remake was definitely warranted too. I think there are a lot of movies out and about to come out that I haven't even seen them yet, and I'm already a little bit fatigued because I feel like they're too new. It's kind of like what happened with the Spider-Man movies. We were talking about this earlier, where the remakes were so frequent that you got sick of hearing his origin story over and over and over and over. And that's definitely happening with a lot of treasured movies from my childhood that are being remade right now. Some for
cough cough Disney cough cough.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I'm actually loving all of the Disney remakes, but it's getting a little overwhelming.
Yeah, they're so fast too. Aladdin just came out, and I think The Lion King is coming out next month.
Next week.
Even better.
Yeah.
Well, so speaking of, those are movies that I'll probably, who am I kidding? I'm definitely going to watch that Lion King movie because I've seen the previews and that CGI lion cub looks too adorable for words.
Yeah.
My adorable meter has a pretty low bar, though. Every time that Church, the undead cat, would hiss or attack someone, all I could think was, God, that cat's adorable.
She said it out loud. Caryn is a fan of the undead zombie cat.
I like bitey cats. My scarred hands are a testament to this.
Absolutely. I am not as much of a cat person. I love Caryn's cats. Otherwise, not terribly a cat person, to be honest. And so, I did not have that same feeling towards the cats. But I am a child person, and Caryn is not as much of a child person. So I had a hard time with the adorable little girl then becoming murderous, and I was just like, no, protect her at all costs. She's just a child, you know? So like the strangulation scene was hard because you don't harm children, but she wasn't really a child. She was a demon. And so, similar to the first movie where it's a toddler that you don't want to see harm come to. Yeah. It's an adorable little boy who grew up to be like on Full House and stuff. So
Stephen King is just so good at playing with your emotions, and that's why my dad has a love-hate relationship with him, because he was reading Pet Sematary in the 80s when my brother was a toddler and falling in love with the little boy and telling my mom, oh my gosh, this little boy is so cute, he reminds me so much of our son, and my mom, who had read the book before, was warning him, don't get too attached. And when the kid gets hit by the truck, my dad literally threw the paperback across the room because he was just so upset. And when I texted him while we were watching the movie, he texted back to let me know that he still has very, very strong feelings about that. And he thinks about it all the time. And whenever he does, he just thinks, F you, Stephen King. How dare you play with my emotions?
Which, if you know, Caryn's dad is just perfect. So
it's pretty on brand.
Yep. Side note, did you know that the daughter from the original movie is Lenny from Ghost Rider?
What?
Oh, yeah.
How is this a side note and not something you elbowed me during the film to share?
I just remembered just now.
You know, it's been like a good 23 years maybe since I've seen an episode of Ghost Rider, but I can still sing most of that song that she writes.
Did you know that my mom gave me the first season on DVD and I have it at my apartment right now?
And we watched effing Pet Sematary instead of
I'm bringing it over next week.
Awesome. We can watch and review that episode with the goop thing.
Yes.
Let's see.
I don't know if that's season 1, to be honest.
That's true. That's not season 1.
But we can watch them save Mr. Brinker's store. I think that's season 1.
Sweet. And the one where Alex is getting involved with gangs.
Oh, that might be season 1.
Which prompted me to write a letter to my brother. Like, hey, don't get involved in any gangs. I really love you. And my brother was just like, what the hell is this? What do you think I'm running around doing?
That is so funny.
Well, all in all, pretty glad that we spent the evening watching Pet Sematary.
Absolutely, an evening well spent.
Yeah. Extra grad. So Jill found out Pet Sematary was available to rent because our favorite local video store that is defined